Hey, what's going on, guys? It is the day before the War Games DLC drops, and on that note, it is the last day to try out the featured game mode called High TTK. TTK stands for Time to Kill, just in case any of you were wondering. I actually didn't get around to playing this mode until a few days ago due to the Dead by Daylight's console release last week. Hide and Go Seek is awesome, by the way. But anyway, the point of this game mode was and is purely for Respawn to test out a handful of balance changes to weapons and pilot abilities. The primary change in this game mode is a time to kill increase for the majority of pilot weapons and amped pilot weapons. They also made some changes to several tactical/pilot abilities that they felt were overpowered with people living longer. So basically this is kind of similar to a technical test server for an upcoming patch. Respawn had also asked for the community to give them feedback in order to help them tailor some of these changes. They also mentioned that there are additional adjustments coming regardless in the next update. They haven't released the patch notes yet, so we're still waiting to see. But that is tomorrow. Hopefully the patch notes will be out. I don't know, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. But if you're curious what this game mode has to offer, they basically threw in the following game modes. They had Attrition, Amped Hardpoint, Pilots vs. Pilots, Marked for Death, surprisingly, and Bounty Hunt. Respawn posted some vague details over on Reddit regarding the changes made to this mode, and they were Pilot Weapon TTK was increased, Amped Weapon TTK increased, which is basically they're nerfing damages on these weapons. They're not being specific on what weapons, they're just saying overall. Stim Speed bonus slightly decreased, Phase Shift has only one charge, but lasts longer. Grapple has a slightly longer regen time, and they disabled silencers in this game mode. Wait, they're silencers? If you haven't played this yet, get in there and check it out today before it's gone. I always love participating in test servers, alphas, betas, anything that changes even some of the smallest mechanics of a game. For me, it keeps things fresh and also allows me to see where some guns or abilities or whatever might be better or worse with the changes. It's also nice to see them doing something like this where if they felt a change needed to be made to a specific weapon, but then the whole community is like, Respawn, this is a terrible idea, they would then be able to ignore their original plan to change it and leave it be per the community's wishes. I feel like this should have been done with the Volt before it had two separate significant nerfs due to the sheeple who follow a certain channel that claimed it to be too OP on PC, which is the smallest community out of the three platforms, might I add. Now, before any of you go and accuse me of being butthurt about a gun being nerfed, I should inform you that I have always hated the Volt, and the nerfs never affected me either by using it or by getting killed by it, so I could care less. The nerf was just purely unnecessary, and it really made the gun useless for a long time. They did finally buff it again in the last update, so I don't know. Live and learn. Anyway, enough ranting. Basically, like I just said, I like these types of tests where the whole community actively gets to test and provide feedback before changes are set in stone. Instead of everyone watching tier list videos and making assumptions based on the opinion of one individual. By the way, all of you that talk up holo-pilot, or even those of you who don't believe it's absolute trash, you all have your own independent brains and thought processes, and you all get a gold star from yours truly. So my thoughts on this mode and some of the tweaks and changes are going to be a little one-sided because I only played 15 to 16 hours of it this week. Also, for those of you who follow my stream, I basically use one gun until it hits Gen 10, then I throw it away forever. I have completed all the assault rifles, SMGs, shotguns, and LMGs, and am now using the EPG. And let me tell you right now, it may be my new all-time favorite weapon in this game. However, if you miss a shot and your target realizes, you're most likely going to die because the time to kill is so fast. You just can't get a second shot off quick enough if they turn and fire at you. However, in this high TTK game mode, if you've been blessed or cursed with potato aim from the potato gods, you're in luck because with the damage output of most guns being decreased, you can almost always get a second shot off with the EPG, so make sure that the second shot counts. Okay? Okay. The G2, on the other hand, it didn't really feel like it had a damage reduction, but maybe it did take one extra shot to die from it. Other than that, yeah, I did feel like everything else took quite a bit longer to die from. The alternator, the devotion, the 201, the 101 all felt like I was getting pelted by fluffy bunnies. Oh, never mind. The car still melted me, so I don't think it got that much of a damage reduction in this game mode. I kept thinking the dude had amped damage, and every time I'd watch the kill cam, it had white crosshairs. So, yeah, that the car still hurt, and the G2 still hurts in this game mode. But from an EPG standpoint, I love the changes. If you miss a shot, you can pretty much follow up and get your kill regardless. But ultimately, I didn't get a chance to play with the OP guns to see what it felt like. Maybe I'll do that tonight on stream. I'm kind of curious to see what the gunplay feels like when you're having a fight 1v1, gun versus gun, not explosive blue ball of death. Regarding the pilot abilities, I only used holo and stim. Holo wasn't changed, and I had no idea that stim was changed until I read Respawn's Reddit post this morning. The speed reduction on stim wasn't dramatic enough for it to be a game changer. I did notice, though, that when people phase shifted, that they would take forever to come out of phase shift. I didn't realize that it had one charge, though, because it still felt like people would phase on me back to back. Grapple, well, you know how I feel about grapple, so I don't use it. So even if I tried, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference on the cooldown because it had a reduced cooldown. I can tell you that I didn't see any less or any more grapple users, but when I did, they were just the usual free kill floating out in the middle of the open in the air. So, grapple OP. So I really hope they keep something like this going. Maybe make a technical test playlist that will have potential changes that people could always queue up for and give feedback instead of taking up a week of the featured playlist. I know that this mode and its high TTK was a blast while using the EPG, but I didn't give it a chance to feel what it was like with the gun versus gun fights. If you guys played it, what were your thoughts? What did you hate? What did you love? What changes do you think should be made or focused on the next time, if there is a next time? Anyway, I gotta get back to shooting blue balls of death at G2 roof campers because they are clearly scrub YouTube sheeple. Bah. Just kidding. I've always actually personally loved the G2 since the beginning. I just think it's funny that everyone hates it now. First, everyone hated the Hemlock. Then it gets a nerf, leaving the G2 as the next strongest long-range rifle. If/when the G2 gets nerfed, y'all are just going to bitch about the next long-range gun, and then the next gun, and the next, continuing the cycle, all the way down to our fists. Then what do we have? A goofy-ass wall-running For Honor game without the grab spam. So, knock it off. Anyway, I'm out. Hopefully the Enhanced Auto Titan Tournament video gets done this week. I'm also putting together a Frontier Defense video for those of you who have never played it or are curious about it. I also stream daily over on Twitch at 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If any of you want to come check it out, hang out, criticize my opinions, praise my mad EPG skills, whatever floats your boat. Anyway, I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye-bye.